Hello, my name is Ed Damon, Vice President of Operations. At JD Young Technologies, we've built our reputation on providing world-class service to companies just like yours for over 70 years. To achieve this, we've assembled highly specialized and tenured teams to keep your organization's systems running at peak performance. And now I'd like to introduce you to our Ricoh JD Young service team.
My name is Vince Terrell. I'm the Director of Service. I've been with JD Young since 1984.
I'm Danny Gregory. I've been with JD Young 32 years.
My name is Oscar Ward. I've been with JD Young 20 years. I'm a senior technician.
Ted Durbin. I'm the Ricoh team supervisor. I've been with JD Young 19 years.
Scott Officer. I've worked for JD Young for going on 15 years.
Hi, I'm Sean Brinley. I've been here currently 14 years.
Darren Thomas, Senior Service Technician with JD Young. Been doing this with JD Young for 14 years.
I'm Brad Biggers. I've been with JD Young for 4 years, and I've been in the industry for 30.
I think customer service is just an integral part of what our business is, and I like the fact that JD Young really represents excellent customer service.
We're problem solvers. We usually interact with customers when they have an issue.
I go into a customer's office and I treat them like friends and family.
I've known some of these people 10 plus years, and just listening to what they need and then be able to solve an issue for them really means a lot to me.
I like to meet new people, going from service call to service call, building good rapport with my customers and giving them a good experience with JD Young.
Customer had a machine that was causing her a lot of problems, and she really needed a job to get done in a near quick future. I came in there, addressed the problem with her, found out exactly what was going on, worked at it, had to get some service help from other techs to get this resolved. And at the end of the job, it was done, and she was very happy because she can get her job completed, and it just worked out for everybody.
And our superior service doesn't stop once the job is done. We have a dedicated staff of support and admin personnel that ensure that each customer experience is an award-winning one. Thank you for taking the time to get to know us just a little bit better. We look forward to serving you for many years to come.